All right, everybody, welcome to I guess we'll call it season two. And today we're discussing what the carp happened in 2023. All about the best fish of the year. Um, no,
That's a way to come back.
why not? Just come back with about fishing reasons. Like, what I like? Salmon. They're beautiful. The way they swim upstream, it's amazing. Now,
They're
it's
beautiful.
what the crap happened in 2023. From Radio Voice out today. What the crap happened in 2023?
Yeah, we're back. Hello everyone again. It's been a while. We apologize. And also, it's just life,
Yeah,
Things happen.
I don't apologize. We take time off. It's good, and life happens, like I said, and it's positive.
Yes.
I think it's been a great year of growth for both of us, which is phenomenal. And
Yeah, I agree.
I think it's good. We took the time off, and I think it's good that neither of us were like grumpy about it because we agreed early on like this is not overshadow our friendship and overshadow
Right.
relationships. It's just this is a thing we do. Life is priority, friendship's priority. This is not. So, I like the fact that there was no like animosity of like we're not doing this for enough. I'm like that's fine.
Right.
Any business.
And it happened where we both kind of had major things happen in our life that we needed to focus on anyway. So it kind of worked out for both of us. So my major thing in 2023 that kind of took me away from the podcast, is I got a new job. So I now work for an amazing all-female marketing and PR agency in Atlanta. I've been around since it's been 31 years now. Um, I won't name the name because, try not to do that. But I mean, you could figure it out if you wanted to, but I'm a senior account manager there, and it wasn't a job I was looking for, but they hired me first as a freelance writer, and I loved it so much, and I love these women, and I love the clients and what we were doing. And then very quickly, they offered me a full-time job, and it's a lot.
Oh
It's my
yeah,
favorite job ever, but man, is it a lot.
it pulled a lot of focus like from everything in your life. You really had to focus on, which is good. You loved it. It's not a negative thing. That's important to do, especially when you're trying to like foster relationships with inside the organization and you're trying to like really follow the job. And it was demanding, which you love, you raved about, which is
Yeah.
it was nice hearing you talk so positively about what you were doing for a living.
Yeah, and it's like such a different world. So David and I met when we worked for a marketing agency, and I left the agency world and went on client-based side where I just focused on one brand for 5 years, and that was what I did. And it was very calm, and it was, a little bit too easy perhaps, but sometimes you got to have those easy jobs for a while. But this job is so fast paced that, sometimes I feel like I'm drowning a tad bit. But it's also awesome. Like I work with the coolest women. They're so intelligent, so supportive. And they've taught me so much in the last year that it blows my mind. Like I feel like I kind of wasted a little bit of time before this job, but I got to look at it as growth, right? Got me here. I wouldn't be where I am now if it wasn't for the last job, so it's fine. But the job is all consuming. Like I can't after work, I just want to like not think for a little bit. So the
Right.
thought of like chatting, even though I love you, and I love our fans and our listeners. The thought of chatting after work, after I've done a lot of chatting already throughout the
Yeah.
day, it was a bit much. I went from having like 3 meetings a month to most of the time having like 2 meetings at least a day.
Yeah.
Like sometimes there's more than that. There's been a few days where it's been like five back to back. So there's a lot of doing, and I don't want to do shit when I'm done doing all of it. But one of the benefits of this job is the reason why we are back and we're doing this podcast again. My company does a 4-day work week, and I'm now working Monday through Thursday. Yeah, they're very long days. Those 4 days they're a lot. They make my head just like hurt. But that day off on a Friday, every Friday, whoo, Oh, it's like you could just like double my paycheck. It's so nice to have a 3-day weekend. Like if you need to make any appointments or anything like that, you could just do them on a Friday.
Yeah,
If you have any errands to run, like I have to do emissions this month. It's not a big deal. I have Fridays.
yeah.
Oh, everyone should do that. So
I
nice.
I wish I could. I don't know if my company can handle it with the size that we are and the and what we do. I don't know if we could do it. But I'm like, I wonder if I could make that work now. Because like with my life changes, like I'm getting up ridiculously early nowadays. So
Yes. Yes, you
I
are.
could do it.
So why don't you tell us about your major life change?
Uh, so one of mine is, I mean, of course, work picked up for a bit. It's been picked up for a while. We took on another company, like it's like we bought another company, which created more projects for us. And I'm one of the few people in my company who do what I do, at least this side of it. And so I kept getting pulled into that team back and forth. And there's times you want to hear from me because I'm just like either in meetings or like someone else calling me or you'll message me and it's like I'll message you back like sorry I've been in meetings for like 5-6 hours.
I
Uh,
understand.
oh yeah, yeah. And you go, you're like I get it, me too.
We're
Um,
like, I barely had a second to say hello to begin with.
oh I know, and it's a lot of times I'm in these meetings going like that's not how it works. That's not how it works. We can't do it that way. Why are you doing this? And it's just like trying to like get people who don't like do design development that I do, to understand what I do, and they don't, but they think they can do it anyway. So,
Mm.
um, so yeah, and that's
David's
taken.
like, I've done too much talking just like you.
Oh, there's many times that's go sit on the couch and go, oh, I need to go to the gym.
No more words.
No more words. Um, but of course, and also, but my biggest thing that's taking a lot of my focus, as you know, is I've major relationship. Probably like, and it not even probably is like the happiest, healthiest relationship I've had. Um, phenomenal woman. You met her.
Hmm.
I think the only one you've liked, person you ever liked.
Yep. It's the only girl I really approve of that you've ever dated. And
Yes.
approve as in I would be her friend if you guys broke up because I really like her.
Let's not say that, but yes, I'm happy. I am happy to hear that though. I know you guys talk outside, which
Yeah.
I told you that
Yeah.
once. Like I wanted like, I know it's a big thing if like you and the person I'm with are like, we're gonna go talk. Fuck off. I'm like, all right, cool.
Right.
Or like y'all hang out like y'all hang out while out there, which is like, well, okay, I guess I'll play video games.
That's how I feel when you hang out with my husband. I'm just like, okay, guess he's your friend too. Oh,
It's like he'll go
but
outside and
now
hang
that's how
out.
I feel
Fine.
about your girlfriend.
Yeah,
Love
that's
her.
awesome. She told me y'all were talking the other day. I was like, cool. So,
Dreams come
um,
true.
yeah, and we're we have big plans for the year. Um, that where I don't want to talk about it here. We have big plans for the year, things like that. So, I mean, this it's like the year didn't start last year. 2023. I guess was technically is last year. Like didn't start out wasn't it started out kind of eh.
Right.
But it ended just phenomenally. Like there's no like this is the very
Hmm.
first birthday I've had and like very recent memory that's like wasn't me just by myself or just someone like fighting with me.
Yeah.
Um, I always I end up having too much PTO at the end of the year. I take like almost 2 weeks off at the end of the year, and I dread it and I hate it and I'm bored and I didn't have this time. I mean, she was gone for about a week of it. But even then, like I had stuff to do, and she came back, and we hung out. There was no, I didn't dread it. I was like, oh, cool. Like I have things to have chores and like projects to do, and she's here. This is amazing. So yeah, it's definitely the year started
Different
out kind of
David.
meh. Oh yeah, year started out meh, and it's got so much better. Even like I have like my buddy Josh. He's like, man, he's like it's night and day, man. Like because
Hmm.
he is also like we've sit and had drinks and him just lament about my woes. And he's like, dude, it's night and day, man. It's good to see. It's like completely just like
Yes.
different than it was.
Because
So
one thing David has changed this year because of his new love is his sleep habits.
yeah,
And we've talked about sleep before on this podcast. We did, a whole episode on it and then mentioned it several other times. And David, like, was a psycho sleeper. I've never seen anyone sleep such fucking horribly in my life. Okay.
to,
So bad.
to
He just would stay up all night and then he'd be like, I could survive on 4 hours of sleep.
and
It's
I
fine.
can,
Ooh,
but
yeah. Can you
but
thrive though? No.
but I mean I go to bed at like at 3 and get up at 8 because I could be working like 9:30 and 9 o'clock at the latest. So I'm like,
Mm.
whatever. Um, but she jokes that she's basically an old man in like a middle aged body, essentially. So she goes to bed at like 9 at the latest. Like
Yeah.
she's like, it is 8:30. We are rolling up. I am done. I'm
I
like,
love
okay.
that.
And then she's like, you don't have to, she knows I usually stay up later. She's like, you can just, I'll go to bed. It's fine. Like, no, no, I like the ritual of it too, and hanging out and chatting and stuff like that. So and there's been a couple of times where I'm like, I ain't sleeping, or she'll go to bed. She's like not feeling well, or just kind of overly tired. So she'll go to bed like at 7. I'm like, there's no
Oh
fucking
my
way in hell.
God.
No, 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 no. I couldn't. I'd stare at the ceiling for 3 or 4 hours. So like we'll go to bed, and she'll like we'll sit and we'll chat and talk, and hang out with the dogs and stuff. And then when she's like, all right, lights out, and she is serious about sleep. She does not mess around. She has like this expensive pillows she uses. She
Oh,
has
I
like
love
she has
it.
like expensive eye mask that like blocks all light. She puts in earplugs. She takes meds. She's like, I'm out. I'm done. If she her goal is 9 plus. That's her goal every night.
Wow. No wonder she's such a happy
And
person.
she hits it most nights too. So I'm like, holy
Seriously.
sh! I asked her, I was like, how long do you sleep? She's like, 9 hours. I'm like, I root for her, man, because like
Wow.
I know she really
That's
needs it. It makes her
crazy.
happy. So I'm like, when she gets 9, I'm like, um,
Yes.
I
She's rested.
oh yeah, I'm probably getting closer to 7 now, ish, because
Which
like
is mind
it
blowing.
is. I have to wake up like if I go to bed. Say we go to bed around like 9. I'll doom scroll like because when she puts her headphones in, I can have my phone normal volume. And she didn't see a thing.
Oh, nice,
So I'll doom
nice.
scroll for maybe like an hour. I can pass around 11 at the latest, and I'll wake up a couple times. But we get out of bed at like 5:30, like no more than 5:30. If it's past 5:30, we've overslept, kind of thing. So we get up, and she does her, gets up and goes to the bathroom, and I go down and make her a cup of
Freaking
coffee, and I put on
adorable.
the news. She likes on the news in the morning, and we just sit and watch the news.
Look at you.
I don't drink coffee in the morning. I drink coffee like we usually in the afternoon. So I'll drink a cup of tea, and we just like talk about the day.
Who the hell are you?
It's
What has
crazy. Oh, it's
occurred?
awesome. It's fantastic, and
Oh,
I'm
I
like,
love it
I'm
so
here.
much.
I'm here for it. It's fine. She's like, I feel like I'm ruining your life. I'm like, nah, man, you're making life better.
No, I swear, like my happiest moments of 2023 are the fact that you're happy and you
Yeah,
have someone finally, and I don't have to worry about you anymore.
which I appreciate. I do because it's
Yeah,
it's
like,
uh
whew,
it's been a ride.
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Holy
And
shit.
I adore this lady. So
Yeah.
good job. Some
Hopefully,
other quick little updates about our lives.
yes.
I closed my resin shop on Etsy.
You did
Well,
tell
it's
me you did.
open because I'm selling my products, but I'm not making any new products.
This is some breaking
I
news for
have
me actually because I didn't know
I
this.
have contact dermatitis on my hand.
Oh,
And it's been driving me nuts for quite a while now. It's probably been, I don't know, 4 or 5 months. And it's not from actual, I don't think, contact, because I wear gloves, obviously. I'm not an
hmm
idiot. But after you pour resin and it's sitting there like curing, you like go and check it frequently, like do the bubbles, you check it, make sure everything's okay. And I think the fumes coming up have somehow made like
oh wow.
my skin on my hand, just one hand, just the base of one hand. You can kind of see how red it is on my
Yeah, a little
like
bit. Oh
oh
yeah, I
wait.
do right there.
You can
Yeah.
see that like there's a raw spot, and this is the best it's looked, but my hands get so this one hand gets so itchy that I itch until it's like Todd has to like pull my hand away because I can't stop. It just drives me insane.
Yeah.
So for health reasons, I'm no longer pouring resin maybe in the future I may once in a while, but for now I'm
Interesting.
taking a break for my poor skin.
Smart. Yeah. I
Makes me
didn't.
sad.
I didn't know. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Actually, I wasn't. I meant to ask you about that. I'm thinking about like, when she haven't talked about that in a while. That makes sense.
Yeah, so I tried to take just a short break to see if it would like clear up, but it's still like here. It hasn't gone away. So I'm refused to pour until, this is cleared up or
Smart.
whatever. So
Very
might
smart.
have to actually drag myself to a doctor, but we'll see.
Hopefully not.
Um, but so I've talked a lot about thrifting on this
hmm
podcast. We did a whole episode about, tips for thrifting and stuff like that. Well, my husband and I have opened an eBay reselling business where we just kind of sell things that we find from thrifting. Um, and it just gives me kind of an excuse to go and look for fun stuff. And I found some really amazing things lately. I found this I'll have to post some photos, but I found this awesome purse that I think everyone's going to be jealous of. But we just, we sell some things that we find as we're thrifting, just kind of like a little side business because we have it, so might as well try to sell some stuff. And we're really good at finding the good stuff. We find really good shoes,
Hmm.
especially in Atlanta. We have this like certain thrift store that I will never mention on this podcast because you will all steal my secrets because we get the best deals on shoes there. It seems like every time we go, they're 50% off. And I'm like, you're already cheap.
Right.
So we have that going on. So that's been a fun little adventure. I'm reading more, like a bunch more. So that's a big part of my 2023 was I've been reading a ton, listening to audiobooks a lot. I just actually created a little reading challenge with one of my other best friends.
Very cool.
We're gonna see how many books we can read in 1 year. Um, I messaged her. She's a much faster reader than I am. And I was like, you want to do a reading challenge? And she said, yeah, let's just pick a small number that we know we can hit. She goes, would like 25 books this year work? And I was like, girl,
I'm lucky if I
sure.
read 25 pages.
I was like, oh no. I love to read. I'm a fast reader, but not like her. Like she can fly through a
Not.
book. And I also like get distracted and I can't read it long chunks of time like she does. So I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, uh-huh. Yeah, I could do easy. Easy, sure. Oh shit.
Not to not because we don't name names. Is that nails?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That explains why
Yeah.
she still posts all the pictures. Yeah. It's funny the book she's reading now, like she's reading that
Reader.
series.
Hmm.
My lady, because I don't want to name names either. She finished reading that series when we met. She's read the
Yeah.
entire series, so like they could go
Yeah.
on and on about that. I'm sure.
I've heard that I need to, so that's on my
She
list.
said it's pretty
But
good.
yeah, so I'm reading a ton more. Like it's been a big part of my life lately. I took a little bit of break from that for a while too, so now I'm back at it. Let's see. My one other thing, I did go on vacation. In 2023, I went on a 9-day vacation to Northern California, Oregon, and Washington. We were in Portland and Seattle for a few days, and each city had the best freaking time. There was a little fire, so I didn't get to go around Portland as much as I wanted, like the
Mm.
trails, the hiking trails around that area, but it was the best vacation. And the food, ooh. Ah, it was just like heaven. Just to be able, every single place I went to in California, in Oregon, in Washington had some sort of vegan option. And that is not the case in Atlanta. That is not the case. So it was just nice to be able to walk into a place and be like, yeah, that looks like I could eat there probably. I mean, unless
Yeah.
it was like a steakhouse or something crazy, there's going to be an option for me. And I had the best time. The donuts, y'all,
Oh
Voodoo
yeah. You told
donuts
me
are
about that.
actually amazing. The hype is real.
Oh yeah. I'm sure.
We had lots of coffee. It was just, oh, it was so good. There's this breakfast place we went to that I will never forget. There was a pasta place. Holy shit. It was great. That's all we wanted was the vacation was meant for food, right?
That's right.
Food, scenery, exploring like weird little hippie areas, and that's it.
And
And
mission
that's what we
accomplished.
did. I had a great time. But I don't go on vacations very often, so this is really, really nice. So I
I'm
had a
glad you
great
did.
time. But yep, that was my 2023. I think it was a great one. It was,
Absolutely.
good stuff happening.
Absolutely.
So
I
David's got some more updates that I think you all should hear about.
yeah. I got a couple. So I took my first vacation in 20 years.
Hell
The
yeah.
the last one I went on was to Washington D.C. when I was 16.
Oh my God.
So I'll let you do some math. And I'll give you a hint. It's more than 20 years ago. So I actually planned. It was went to Disney World. I actually had originally planned this in 2020, and then tragedy struck the entire planet.
Yes.
Um, and Disney World was still open, and I could have taken the trip, but I didn't want to go when we had to wear masks, and then you couldn't do certain rides. Yeah, I was like, no, I want to have the
Right.
experience, not be like have something get encumbered. Um, so I so the beginning of the year, I'm like, nope, this is the year. It's over. It's done. Like we're good. All the restrictions been lifted. Everything. I had already planned. I already knew what time of the year to go. So I started the whole process. I reached out to actually the woman who runs vegan. Is it Vegan Disney World? I believe it is.
You should
Um,
have her on the podcast.
I'll actually might reach out to her. Actually, it's
Hmm.
but through the power of the internet, I can make sure
Yeah,
I.
David planned a whole trip. I wish you all could understand the spreadsheet love that he has.
Oh man, it's impressive, and I made an itinerary and everything. Yeah, so she runs Vegan Disney World,
Okay.
and she works for a travel agency that does Disney and a few other places. So I worked with her to kind of get everything because there's certain things, especially if you've never gone. There's all these like extras and add-ons, and like I gotta make
Yeah.
sure like there's food there I can eat, and what can I do? And she actually runs the Vegan Disney World stuff, so I knew she'd know where to go and recommendations. I kind of gave her some of the reins. I'm like, I want to go to a nice dinner on this night. Figure it out, dude. Here's what I
Right.
like. And right before, like right near the end of planning the trip, I asked my lady friend to go with me. She's a big. We're both we're not like Disney adults. We're big Disney people. Um, so yeah, she was like, "Are you sure you want me to go with you?" I'm like, hell yes! Like this is
David
amazing.
had this whole thing planned for himself, just
Oh yeah,
himself by himself.
yeah. My
Then just like the luck of love,
serendipitous.
she appeared and he didn't have to go alone and he had the best time. Oh, I love it.
Uh,
Woo!
and yeah, it was great. We have tons of videos, tons of photos, tons of pictures of food. Obviously everything was vegan. Oh, wait, and to clarify, she's plant based as well. So we ate vegan the whole time, and my dog went with me. He had a little resort he stayed at when we were at the parks. We went to the Halloween party. We should probably do an episode just on like Disney World. It'd be kind of fun just to talk
Yes,
about what to
we
do.
should.
I can even
Yeah.
have her on. Um, but yeah, it's one of those things. Like I'm glad I did it. I won't be doing it for a very long time because that was exhausting. A few people who haven't gone have asked me like, "What's it like? What's it like going? How was it?" When I'm out, bear in mind, I went in September, so it was only a few months ago.
Right.
Um, and I described it as walking 10 miles a day on the surface of the sun while also riding roller coasters. That's basically what it's like. It's exhausting. It's super fun. No regrets whatsoever. Um, and honestly, it's not a cheap trip, but it wasn't pricier than I thought it'd be.
Right.
Even
Hmm.
even the food was like not cheap, but also like you got volume. I never had lunch or dinner or breakfast and was like, ugh, that wasn't enough. I was like, oh, I'm
Right.
full. Like I never like paid
Which is
like
saying something because you can eat.
yeah, no, I can put it away. The fat kid in me is real, alive and well. Trust me.
Oh, stop.
And I say that in a loving way for my inner child, which whom I have nurtured since my childhood.
Yes.
But my therapist can attest to. Um,
Love.
but no, I mean, we both ate. I ate a couple of things way more than I should have at times. I have that picture of a giant sundae that I ate, and
Oh,
my
love it
girlfriend
so
took two bites.
much.
She was like, "That's very good. That's very rich, and that's a lot of food." And I was like, "But she said very magical."
I'm gonna eat the
And
whole
I,
thing.
I, I was gone. She was like, "Wow." She was like, "That." She was, "That was impressive." I'm like, "Yeah." And I
You
need to
are
go lay
so
down
impressive.
for a while because that was stupid. I regret nothing.
Oh
But calories
God.
don't count on vacation. That's the rule.
No, not at all. Not at all.
But I got some cool stuff. I have like I bought some cool stuff. Things I will never get a chance to get again. That was kind
Right.
of my rule. I talked about when I set up my vacation. Was like I don't want to like go somewhere and eat something that I could just have like at home or I could go down the road and get. That has to be like
I
something
agree.
different.
Hmm.
And following that rule, and yeah, memorable. Her and I talked, and she's like, "We're not going to do another vacation anytime soon. That's like that. It's going to be chill. We're going to have places to sit a lot." And I was
Yeah.
like, "All right, that's fair."
Yes. Yes. Chill.
And
Like a
we're already,
cabin in the woods.
we're already planning a couple small ones and a
Yep.
big one, which you and I'll talk about offline. That what our plans are for
Yay. I
that.
like, I like, I
And I'll tell
like.
you about that. You're gonna be
Oh,
like, you're gonna be like,
planning vacations. How
yes,
sweet.
absolutely.
You all get to meet David in love, and it's
It's
wonderful. So,
fantastic. I'm so excited. And the other one is I ended up welcoming a new fur kid into the group. That's another good thing that happened in 23.
yep.
I had a pit bull named Kodak who I had been dog sitting with quotes for like almost 5 years or so, 4 or 5 years.
You
Uh,
have to explain because that sounds
yeah. So, without
weird.
giving too many personal details, a buddy of mine, I was in high school with. I was an RTC all through high school. We both were. He ended up going to the military. I went to college. He was hit by an IED in Iraq. Got some injuries, and ended up came back. And got medical discharge. Back to civilian life. He's doing fine. Again, has some PTSD. Has some other stuff from all that. Had an episode where he had to move back home, and he had two dogs. One is a service dog for his PTSD, and the other one isn't. And his mom was like, "You can't have both." Like,
Right.
Kodak was very young, like 1.5, 2 years old, rambunctious, kind of wild. The other one's very calm, in relation. Um, so he was like, "I need somebody to take my dog, or I got his fine, take him to a pound or something." I was like, "Dude, I
Right.
got you. I'll take him in. I'll take care of him when your life is back in order," which he was in the middle of doing. He done all the stuff he needs to do to get the ball rolling.
Right.
He and I
Exactly.
planned for like maybe a year to go through all the process of getting all things back in order, and it ended up being much longer than that. So funny enough, um, he was gonna watch Kodak during my Disney trip,
Hmm.
and I reached out to him a month before, or so. I said, "Hey man, just a reminder, you're watching Kodak while I'm out, while we're both at Disney." He's like, "Cool story. All my stuff is complete, and I'm moving into my own place around that exact time." It's like, "Cool. Well, that was the plan." He goes home. We worked it out. We dropped before, like a week before we left for Disney. Um, Dropped Kodak off, said our goodbyes. Everybody boohoos, tears, hugs, love you
Oh,
buddies.
little
Drove back.
nugget.
Huh?
Little nugget.
Oh yeah. Or as Wilfred calls him, little piggle.
He's
Uh,
so cute.
oh, he's a big old pig. But yeah. So about a weekend, we're like literally it's Friday. We leave on like Saturday. He calls me. He's like, "Hey man, no, I can't. He can't. He's just it's not that he was rambunctious or he's too much. It's just that he was a bit homesick, and he has really bad separation anxiety, so he was kind of acting out. He tore up some blinds and was like tearing up doors, just kind of going. That's because I think he was looking for me. Is what it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's like, "Where'd my dad
And his
go?"
best buddy
Right.
too.
Well, um, so I was like, "Hey, I'm leaving tomorrow, man. I'm out the head of the town. Can you watch him for the time?" And he said, "Yeah, no problem. We'll keep an eye on him, whatever." But yeah, I just said, "Just when we get him back, bring him back to me." Brought him back, um, and yeah, so he's actually sitting here on the couch. He's a pit mix. We renamed him to Cody. We felt like Kodak was too like
Oh, cute.
harsh, I guess, for his demeanor. It was like if he felt it was too like military and too burn. He's not. He's very like wiggle butt and running around
Oh, he's
and
such a wiggle butt.
oh
Love
oh yeah,
it.
he's definitely a lover. So like Cody's more fun, more playful. So we
Yeah.
felt that fit him better. Yeah, he's good.
Love.
He gets carrots instead of cookies now for snacks because he's a chunker. Slowly losing weight. Hopefully, when you see me, you notice he'll lose a little bit. But he's sleeping on the couch. He is definitely a ladies' man too. He's taken to her. I'm basically a second class citizen when she's in the house.
I love it.
The other night, he literally crawled over me. He literally crawled over me to lay on her
Oh my God.
because her and I were
I love
cuddled up, and
it.
he walked across me, like crushed me,
Like, I don't need you,
and
Dad.
then laid on
Where's my
her, put his head on her shoulder, and went. I'm like, okay, all right.
Oh,
I'll
that's
just
how you know it's a good person
I'll
if
leave
the
the
dog
room. I'm
loves her.
sorry. Right. But yeah, he's a good dog. But yeah, he's just a lover. He loves to lick your face and lay in your lap and get scratches. So, but yeah, that's the thing. He's got a new fur kid. Didn't expect it. Never really wanted a large dog. But no complaints. Happy he's here. He's having to get, he's so big because he's slept in the bed with me this whole time. But now there's two of us, so he can't. He lays on us. Um, so he's had to learn to sleep in his own bed. But
Oh,
he's taken to it pretty well. So
he's so precious. Oh, what a good year we both had.
oh yeah.
But we did miss you all, and we are back. We are here to talk about being vegan and all the stuffs, mental health, all the things. We are switching things up a tiny bit this year. We used to release our episodes on like Wednesdays or Thursdays, but now we're going to do them on Sundays. So you can have weekend time to listen and leave your review, share with your friends. It won't be during the week when you're busy. So we think it might be a little bit better. If you have any episode recommendations or things you want to learn about, obviously send us a message. That's what we're looking for. But we want to talk about some of the things that didn't suck in 2023, which we've all pretty much gone over, except for I think we each have one that we haven't talked about. But my number one thing is obviously my job. It has helped me grow professionally. My skills have increased, like I can't even explain. It's mind blowing the difference in my confidence and my abilities from a year ago. So go job. Love you. Second, I would say being brave enough to make my career a priority, which meant taking a break from everything. And that's a big deal for me because I'm a kind of person who puts too much on my shoulders and then I burn myself out. And this year, I knew this job was going to be a big focus, so I had to take a break from everything else, which is, scary to do. I don't know if any of you are even going to listen to this episode now because we've been gone for a year. But I needed to focus on that, on my career, and I'm really proud of myself for doing that and like making myself a number one priority. So go me, I guess. Um, and I think my third one, oh gosh. I kind of feel like it's my relationship with food. So sometimes it's hard for me if it's going to take too much work to make something to eat. I would just rather not eat than have to make it. I'm like lazy in that sense. So there are times where my husband's like, "You haven't had anything to eat today." And I'm like, "Yeah, because it'll take too much time and I
Right.
don't have that kind of time and it's annoying." But I realized if I could just find the few things I do like making that don't take a lot of time and just fucking repeat them a million times throughout the year, I'd be fine. So I've had a million sandwiches in 2023 and I'm good with that. I'm fine with
As
that
long
because
as you're
love
happy.
them. They were tasty. They had vegetables on them. They're made with plants. What the fuck? It's fine.
Bonus.
I had a million things of pasta. Look, love me some carbs, I guess. I'm also
Mm.
Italian, so I mean lots of pasta in my life. Um, and I love chicken nuggets, I love chicken nuggets. I never liked them when I was not vegan. I never ordered like a real chicken nugget. It was not my thing, okay?
Really?
But as a vegan, I'm like, give me them little fake chicken nuggies. I love it. And I'm going to talk about a certain brand of chicken nuggets in just a minute, but um, I kind of realized this year that I need to nourish myself, and it doesn't have to be such a big freaking deal, and I don't have to make it such a big deal where it ends up making me not eat. So I've just found the things I love and just consume them repeatedly, and I'm gonna do it again
Good.
because
That's
it's working for me, where I'm actually eating like a meal before like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. That's like, go me.
Well done.
It's like such a big thing for me. I'm hoping it helps me fix my like high cortisol issues, but
Yeah, I deal with
we'll
that
see.
too. Oof.
Those are my three things.
It's funny because I get busy with work and other stuff. I forget to eat, and my partner, she'll like, "Did you eat today?" Like,
Yeah,
crap.
we're the same person in that way.
Just around meetings and stuff. I have my food scheduled around meetings and stuff. So I'm like, okay, there's a break.
Right.
I'll eat here. If there's no break, I just forget. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
that's why I feel like crap today. Yeah.
Yeah, I have no calories. Oh,
Yeah.
that could be why.
Luckily, she's like, I've been like, when she started coming around here, she was like, you have no food in your house. I'm like, because I go to the store like this week, I'm having this done, and I go to the store get those things, and that's all that's in the house.
Yeah.
She's like, your place, you did the same thing. I think you come over. You're like, oh my god, what are you doing? I'm like, what? There's nothing in your fridge, nothing in your pantry. I'm like, because I didn't eat anything this week. And so she's been she's been like getting me to like, like, okay, have this stuff and have bagels and have like proteins and have all this. So
Right.
you just make
She's a
things.
good little cook
Oh
too,
yeah,
and she
she's
gets
awesome.
you to like make yummy things and try new stuff and
Oh yeah.
not be so repetitive. I love it. That's
I
great.
love cooking for her because she does his little food dance. I'm like, do the food dance. I love food dance. So uh,
I
a
love
little cook for her.
it.
It's fun. She has no problem. She's like, good cook. I'm like, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I love that. I love that so much.
But my three, obviously, I said before, new relationship. And I said it's healthiest one I've had in a very long time.
Yep,
I think I probably the healthiest one I've ever had, really.
I think so.
Yeah, I can't even think of anything comparable. I have so many horror stories, and the point where she's like, how did this happen? You're like, I don't know. I just attracted insanity.
And didn't listen to your friends when we said, "Hey, that bitch is crazy."
Yeah, pretty much. And you're not wrong, but no. So I mean, that's probably like the my biggest thing that didn't suck. Go on vacation. I mean, we talk about details of all this stuff, so I don't go into details. But like I got stuck in the like the whole mentality of like work and work and work and work. And for a while, like I worked for a nonprofit and another jobs I worked. I have my laptop with me 24/7. If I left the house, I packed my computer with me and I went somewhere. And if I was like, oh, okay, I need to work, I sit down and work. And I adopted a much more like work-life balance over the past few years. Really like settled into it this past year. Um, and I was like, no, I'm going vacations, man. I negotiated this job an extra week vacation as part of my like package when I signed on. I'm not gonna use that thing, and so
Oh yeah.
and that's and then and a partner, she's kind of the same way. Her work is keeps her really busy, really stressful, and she's gone on vacations before in the past. She hasn't in a while, so her and I are like, no, we're planning stuff. Even if it's just like on a Thursday, we go somewhere. We work from an Airbnb on a Friday, and we spend the weekend, hanging and just chilling, to going to doing stuff.
You
Um,
know what? I had this exact conversation with my husband because I was like, why do I try to make a vacation like 2 weeks? Why in my brain does it have to be
yeah,
like this big long thing? I already have a 3-day weekend every weekend. Like, why can't I just schedule smaller trips for myself? And so
right,
that's kind of like what I'm thinking too. I love that we were on the same
yeah,
wavelength with that.
exactly. Because like she was like, oh, I just want to take like a weekend to a cabin. I was like, well, let's do that.
Yeah,
We
we
both
can
have
do that.
jobs where we can. I work remotely almost 100% of the time, and
Right.
she does. She works, like 3 4 days a week. She works from home. I was like, we could just go up and work from somewhere else for a couple of days, and then
Oh.
have a weekend with the dogs and go hiking and go to
I've
shops and
never
have.
heard David talk about like this in the decade I've known him.
Oh, I know. I'm like, no, we gotta
Yeah.
stay here, and I'm worried. Like, no, it's my I'm no my value asset of the company. They're not gonna like completely just go like you were gone for vacation, whatever.
Yeah.
She knows that about her place too. So let's just take the time, spend time
Yeah.
together and do these things.
Yes.
And then plan like a bigger one that's more longer, but we can take small ones of the year. Um,
Yes.
but with her, like it with her job, it's like mine is just kind of stressful because it's like it's coding, it's math, it's this. Hers is pulled meetings and pulled in directions like that. So
Yeah.
her stress levels are way different than mine with what she does. So I think she vacations probably more than I do because she definitely gets way pulled, like I said, pulled in way more directions than I do. I'm
Right.
focused, but it's just and mentally intensive in with what I do.
The
Anyway,
third thing on your list is my favorite thing.
yeah, I started playing
Really
D&D.
excited for this.
I started playing D&D this year. And it's funny because like it started because I was single and I was like not talking other than like talking to you. I didn't really talk to people. And I'm like,
Right.
I would go out in public and realize I'm either not talking to anybody or I over talk to whoever I'm talking to. I'm like, I should be rather than humans every now and then. And I didn't know I didn't know what to do. And like I was gonna go to concerts, but like even that's limited interaction.
Because
Um,
it's loud. You can't really talk to
yeah,
people.
and you're mosh pits, and it's fun, but
Right.
then there's no like whatever connection. I'm like, well, and there's a gaming store down the road from me, and so I went I went and I went to their site and like to see if there's anything like in a board game day or whatever. And they had I'm a huge nerd, so I was like, oh, cool. They have like a trial of D&D thing. It's like one session, you play a quick thing to see what it's like, and get to understand the rules. I'm like, oh, cool. Let's go do that. I went down. You sit down for like 10, 15 minutes, and like, okay, here's your character sheet. We're gonna play you're on a ship, whatever, right? And I have
Right.
no idea what to do, and like, and I have moments where I'm like really good about improv, making stuff up, and days where I'm like brain dead.
Yeah.
And it's all like, all right, now if you're to play D&D, but it's like you're on a ship.
It's like the most creative thing.
It's
You have to really be like it's an
well,
improv creativity.
oh, it is. You're basically writing a choose your own adventure story in real time, right?
Hmm.
So and it's interesting to watch the dynamic and how the DMs work, and it's a bit overwhelming at first. I was like, oh, did I do it right? I kept asking like, I'm sorry, am I doing this right? She's like, there's no right or wrong.
Yeah, you can't be wrong.
You're a
Yeah.
dwarf that has an axe on a ship fighting a monster. Like, there's no right or wrong. Like, if you
It's
die,
all
you
made up
died.
anyway.
But I mean, whatever. But you're fine. Like, and like understanding how like all the numbers work and save throws, all this, and so it was fun. I was like, cool. So and I'm like, I'm single. I have nothing to do. I'm at the house, or whatever, at the gym. That's pretty much it. So I joined two campaigns. One of which ended up ending a few months in. There's just a lot of life things happened. People got jobs. People started relationships, such as myself. People lost jobs. I had to move, so that one ended. The other one, I mean, we played the game lasted for about 7 months or so. We
Uh,
had our. I need to tell you about our last session. We'll do that offline, but
yeah, yeah,
it
yeah.
was really fun. I gotta tell you, I can't type. I gotta tell you about it. It was actually
Are you gonna
pretty.
start? Does it start a new campaign of that same group of people?
We can. We've talked about it. So because we had our main story, now we have to have an epilogue, which is like what happens after, like like where
Okay.
our characters end up and what happens and that sort of stuff. That's our official last session is on the 9th, actually.
Okay.
So in a week. Um, and we talked about having a week, but like talk about having the session, but one person is going off to school in another state,
Right.
and our DM is lives in Athens, and he has to drive like 2 hours every week just to come to the game. So it's difficult for us to just keep going anyway. And so we like, dude, we love this game. You guys are awesome. Can we let's do an online version? We just online stuff you can do.
Right. Hmm.
But yeah, it's like and even after getting a relationship and stuff, like it's it's like it's like getting a little group of friends where you're just focused on one thing, and you kind of learn
I
about
kind
those
of feel
lives
like
and stuff.
it's almost like reading for me because it's a different world, right? It's different.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
in a different world. I'm like, in a made up like place that I'm not really, you know what I mean? Like
you,
you get to really just kind of stop thinking about your own life for a little
yeah,
bit.
it's a lot like it's not like being in a book club,
Yeah, it
but
is.
instead of talking about the book, you're actually just making up the book as you go.
There you
You start
go.
going like, all right, cool. Here's your
Oh my
characters. You guys
God.
play characters in this book, and it's and this our campaign started where like I was an elf. Here's I gotta tell this part real quick because this is interesting. That's why sorry, but
Oh.
I was a I was a 167-year-old teenager elf because they lived to be like hundreds of years old, right?
Okay. Okay.
Drow,
Okay.
wouldn't assuming it's like I had to wear sunglasses because the light hurt my eyes.
Oh my
Cleric,
God.
so overly religious, like basically a nun within her group.
Oh
She
no.
goes off to this college to like seek wisdom. That's part of what her like goddess wants her to do. And by the end of it, she's a military leader who's denounced her entire faith
Oh
and
no.
focused on herself, essentially taking on the tenets of the Satanic Temple and all kinds of crazy stuff. Didn't plan that at all.
Nope.
I,
Nope. That's
I
why it's so cool. It's so
was
improv-y. I love
because
it.
I planned. I was like, I thought Dean was like, hey, what if like she embodies her goddess and becomes like this like second being and whatever? And he's like, that's great. And what I found what I loved about it was I never understood the idea of like writers talk about like the character like writes
Uh-huh.
themselves and like like
Exactly.
they don't know what's gonna happen like you're writing the book. That's why because things you're just like happy like oh what do I do and it is it's very
Yeah.
much like what would I do versus my character.
Oh,
Um,
very true. Ooh,
yeah.
ooh.
So in this I want to tell you about I want to tell you about this whole thing because it's long to go
Yeah.
over
Please,
but
please.
yeah it's great. I want to play again but now doing it around relationship, we're doing it around the show. Um, and I'm probably going to do it online because I can have my own snacks and stuff, and not have to like eat
I
Nutter
love
Butters
that reason.
and stuff. Have to carry snacks in my pockets and stuff.
Oh no.
But it's really fun.
Speaking
It's
of
I would
snacks,
yes
let's go into vegan
yes because I'll
products we
talk your
try.
guys' ear off
I love this.
about it.
Okay. I am obsessed with cookies. Those are my things. Like, I love the Publix brand of vegan cookies. I thank you so much, Publix, for even thinking of me. But the partake cookies are those like little, like it's the skinny box, and they're like the little cookies. They almost look like those old school pecan cookies we used to eat as kids, those Sandies or whatever they
Yeah
were. They're just like small little cookies, and they've got a lemon one, they've got a chocolate chip, they've got a peanut butter. Um, I just love them because they're really one, really tasty. Two, they're really small, so you just like pop them.
yeah.
But I've been obsessed with them this year.
I got
Just
a box downstairs.
they're so good. I haven't found one time I think I saw a birthday cake version, and then I've never seen it since. I know. Tease, tease, tease.
Right.
But I want it so bad. I've been big into charcuterie boards this year. I can rock a
Oh,
board.
you have an art about it.
I do. I actually really love it. But for Halloween, I did a charcuterie counter because we had a whole party and stuff, and it was amazing. It was so good. And I do separate things so that like my husband can have his own weird stuff on his side. Ew. Um, I've been into like a little bit more into burritos and like Mexican food and stuff lately. So the Tattooed Chef brand, I've had other stuff of theirs that I wasn't a big fan of, but their burritos, especially their little beefy nacho one, is really, really good. I
Interesting.
really like them. Or maybe I just got like lucky that day. But I think I had tried it because there weren't any other burrito options in the case. So I was like, I guess I'll just try them again. I'll give them a second chance.
Mm,
And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna eat these like all the time. Oh, so good. And I like that it's a tattooed chef for some reason. You know, I just, you got me. Exactly. It gets me. Um, I think my favorite thing of the whole year though, and it might be David's too, is I'm gonna say it wrong, but the Borison dairy-free cheese.
yeah.
Okay. This is it's heaven. Oh my God, it's so good. It's so my husband, I got a little tiny version of the like dairy filled kind, and then I get this big ass version of the dairy free kind.
Yeah.
And I was like, taste test them, tell me which one's better. And he said he likes the dairy free vegan version of the Boris and cheese better than the regular one. And so much so that he was in the store just yesterday and a woman picked up the dairy-free one and then she put it down and he goes, "That's a mistake. You should buy that." She was like, "Okay." And she goes, "I don't know. It's dairy-free. That kind of freaks me out." And he goes, "I'm telling you right now, it's really good. I've tried both of them and it's really good." And she
Yeah.
bought it.
I'll,
And I was like, "There you look at you."
I'll tell you this. Oh yeah, partner. She's a Costco person. She like loves Costco, which I have become. I have found a new love for this place.
That's
And they sell a big ass tub of that
what I got.
staple. It is a staple in the fridge,
Yep.
and it
Yep.
lasts not very long.
It's so good. So listen, I think that's part of my pasta issue is because I can make just the easiest creamy sauce with that. I just do that, a little bit of butter, and it's in like a little bit of like cashew milk or oat milk, and it's perfect.
I made an Italian sausage stew the other night, and it called for like coconut milk or something, and I used
Mhm.
like a kind of a tablespoon of that in it. Perfect.
Oh God, it's
So
so
good.
good. So if you
So good.
see the dairy-free version, snatch it up.
Get two of them. It's very good.
Yes, lots of pasta. So the Simply Wise vegan no gnocchi, I always say it wrong.
Gnocchi. Yep.
Super good. They have I think a few versions of that one. So anytime I see any vegan pasta, I snatch it up. So my favorite local Mexican restaurant that my husband and I go to, we go all the time. We love this place, but I usually just have the veggie fajitas, right? I mean, I can have a burrito, but then it's just like dry, So I
Yeah.
get fajitas and they're delicious. We went a few weeks ago and they now have vegan tacos. Almost cried.
Very
I was
cool.
like, oh, and they're delicious. They've got like sweet potatoes in them,
Oh,
which I
cool.
really love, like really cooked, like crispy ones. Oh my gosh, it was like a hash almost. It was
Yeah.
really, really good. Love, love, love.
They use like beans or like a
Uh,
seitan in it.
yeah, and this one didn't. It literally just had veggies. There
Oh,
was
cool.
no like tofu, no tempeh, no seitan, none of that.
Hmm.
It was just veggies, and I was like, I love you all. Thank you
Hell
so
yeah.
much.
Nice.
All right, let's see what else do I have. V-Green burgers. I've had several of those because there's a mall near my house, like 30 minutes from my house, that
Mm.
has little V-Green in there, and it's like the closest one I can get to. And they've got that salmon burger that I love it. It's so yummy. They've got a shrimp one. I just love like vegan seafood. I don't know. It's just my thing. You really get me. Um, my company does monthly social events, and a lot of the times we go out to dinner. And one of the places we went to in Atlanta is Planta. It's new, it's right by Inman Park,
Hmm.
and it's delicious. It's a little expensive. Their menu is very limited, but it is so good. Oh my gosh, it's really good. So if you're anywhere near there, go. I had veggie dogs at a Falcons football game,
Very
and
cool.
I was very excited to see a vegan hot dog on the menu, like just right there. What the heck? So exciting. Was it the most delicious thing I've ever had? No, they probably could have done better.
Sure.
But I kind of feel like they don't really know what to do with it. And they're scared they're gonna like overcook it, so they just
Right.
like don't cook it enough. I don't know. They need to try harder, but
Yeah.
still thankful that there's an option for us at a football game. That's lovely. And last but not least, I ate a bunch of veggies from my garden. I gardened again, of course, duh. We actually have cauliflower and broccoli and Brussels sprouts going right now. We had to bring them
Oh,
inside because it's pretty cold here in Georgia at the moment. But we have purple cauliflower. And I'll just see my husband come out of his office where we have him set up and he's just chewing. And I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I was just testing, make sure it's okay. I'm like, is there gonna be any cauliflower to pick? You just keep taking little bites off of it. Oh gosh. But yes, lots of veggies. So
very
that was
cool.
my favorite products of 2023. Go.
All right, so I'm gonna keep it to three. I'm sure there's the three that stood out. I'm sure there was more I tried, and it was in a restaurant near. We went when we met for the holiday. Can't remember its
Yes.
name, but it was really good. So, but the three I'm gonna pick for was one is the we had my partner and I had for our Christmas dinner was meaty, the meati, the meaty steaks. It's based on like a mushroom protein. Uh, wow, it's like it was. We were looking because like it smelled earthy at first. Like, is it gonna be like? It's
Yeah.
gonna be kind of mushy. Um, so we just pan fried them. A little oil, pan fried them, salt, pepper, garlic, nothing too crazy. We weren't quite sure. And I have to send you a picture. We can post it because it was wild.
Yeah.
Like it had like it was like a Tinder pulled apart. Had like the little pieces and stuff.
It looked legit in the photo you
It
sent
was
me.
weird. It was definitely like it had the chewiness to it. And again, I'm not like I don't miss meat, but I definitely ate quite a bit of like. I
Right.
grew up in the South. I was like steaks and pork chops. All that stuff was pretty common. Um, so but that was really cool. If you get it's pricey. It's definitely like a rare thing. Her and I joked that one day we're gonna have meaty money because it's pretty pricey for two. It's like $12 for two of them, so it's not cheap.
Needy money.
It's a holiday thing. We're we would totally get it again, but like a special occasion type thing.
Right, right.
Definitely not a like hey let's have meaty tonight. No, it's not.
I want that dare cheese money.
Oh Jesus. I will say she ordered like their like sample box the other day. She's like, I'm doing it. We're trying it all. I was like, all right, you got adult money, girl. Do it. So it
Oh, now
comes
I
with
want to
like
steal her. I
it
want her to
comes
be
like
my girlfriend now.
it's got one of
Oh, I'm
everything.
so jealous.
So we're
Okay,
good.
go on. Sorry, I'm so jealous.
Oh
Dare
yeah.
cheese, plug, plug, plug. Who love them?
Oh my god, it's so good. Um, we did so I've had the IKEA meatballs. We had her and I got the IKEA veggie dogs.
Okay.
Really good. We loved them. I wouldn't really call them veggie dogs, or more like like veggie tubes. It's like a mash of like
That
different
doesn't sound
veggies,
gross at
right?
all.
It's very obvious. Like, oh, there's a piece of carrot. There's a piece of
Veggie
broccoli.
tubes.
It's like different like
I know exactly
veggie
what you
pieces and
mean.
mushed them together into a tube. They're good. I would yeah, but we're not quite sure what we do with them. We put them we ate them like a hot dog.
Right.
Um, which is fine. But yeah, it's definitely I think we get again if we're having to be at IKEA, we're like let's get them like a dogs. Those are pretty good.
Right.
We like they're not very high in protein, but we like having like I think two of them is what I would have for at least a decent amount of protein. Um,
Right.
but they're also like lower in sodium than most hot dogs would be. It's like that. So if you're watching
I
your
like your
sodium intake.
meatballs.
Yeah. The meat we also got a pack of meatballs. I love those things.
They're so good.
I'll eat those like breakfast sausages. I was like cook like a handful of them. And something that I gotta find so you can try.
Yes, please, because I'm
This
so
is
jealous.
so. She partner went. She went to school in England, so she has like friends out there, and she was out there for a good while, so she's well versed in the area. Um, so there is a place nearby, which I don't want to dox myself, so I'm not going to say what the name of it is.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
there's an English store near me, and they sell all like English stuff and paraphernalia and foods and stuff. So she's been introducing me to all kinds of like prawn chips, which you had the prawn chips.
Oh, that should have been on my
Yeah, mine
list.
too. Now I think about it, that's my third thing is prawn chips. Oh my, it's weird. Yeah, they're prawn chips, like like the shrimp prawns. They're vegan. I can't explain the flavor of them, but it's so
They're
good.
so good.
And I don't know what flavor this is, but oh my god, give me a whole bag. So but yeah, the main one was sausage rolls because I never have heard of them. But got like a box. We had like boxes of them. We ate them all, and the store nearby stopped selling them. I guess
Oh,
wasn't demand. Um, so like we're trying to find a way to find a new supplier because they're so good.
there's a British store in Marietta Square.
If you're having to be out there, see if they have or can get vegan
I
sausage
will look.
rolls
I will
because I'll see you more often because I'll be out there getting those sausage rolls. Uh, yes, but if
There
you're
was a YouTuber that he lived, I think, in London, and he was obsessed with sausage rolls. And then they came out with the vegan sausage rolls, and he got so mad about it that he like posted this like big, irate thing like
Mhm.
that shouldn't be that's like against the rules. It's blasphemy, basically. And I was like, that was the quickest unfriend or unfollow I've ever done. I was like, dude, calm,
Really,
calm down. It like it has literally nothing to do with you.
no,
Relax. Like,
it's
fuck off.
capitalism really popped off today, ladies. That's all it is.
Like
It's like
so silly.
someone had a product and went, we can do what? Make more
Oh,
money doing what? Okay, we'll make more money doing this. Like,
so, oh, ridiculous.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, sausage
Okay.
rolls. If you get a chance, just pick them up.
I will. Because
Yeah.
I actually have never walked into that store.
Oh man.
So now you got me going.
And
Because now I want the chips for
yeah.
one. Are you
And there's.
kidding me?
Do you try the little bonbon candies yet?
Yes. Okay. So my daughter liked them more than I did.
Okay. Yeah, I love them. I
What was
totally
the
love them.
other thing that was in my Christmas
Oh, the
present?
little cookies, the cookie things.
Cookies fucked those up. Those were good. They had like a fruit
Yeah, they
like
have
filling.
like a carrot, like a, I think it's a currant or a berry or
Oh
something.
yeah, black currant. That's
Yeah,
what it was.
yeah.
And they were so good. They had like a little chewiness to them. They were very like nostalgic of my childhood for some reason.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I really liked them. Yeah. Yummy. We should do a whole episode on
On British food. Um,
British vegan food.
those are mine. I'm sure I can come up with more, but those are mine. I'm gonna try to keep it short with mine.
Yes, since I talked about a bunch of
No,
food.
you're fine.
Listen,
I know I
okay,
could.
I love food. All right, get over it.
Hey,
Okay, so we've talked all about our 2023. We've told you what's coming in 2024. We have already planned out episodes for the next few weeks. So we are ready to chat and fill your ears with all kinds of great stuff. And you can find us, as usual, at Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Pocket Casts, or anywhere else you get your podcast fix. Please leave a review. We need as many as possible to get us back up on those charts and recommend us to your friends, family, coworkers, strangers, anyone who's interested in going vegan for January. We are the podcast for them. Of course, follow us on Instagram and Facebook at The Average Vegans. We will start posting again very soon. And email us if you have any episode suggestions or ideas or anything like that at theaveragevegans@gmail.com. If you want to be a guest, let us know. We would love to have you on. And we want to hear about your vegan story, what you want to talk about, your favorite episode suggestions, any kind of questions you might have as you venture into being vegan. So send us a message. And that's it for this week.
All right. Well, until next time. Bye, guys.
Bye.